BMG Radio. Dino-tastic return of BMG and dinosaurs. We're both back. At least for this week. Next couple weeks. We'll see. Let's get to it. Brought to you by the Bit of Moon. Now with more fiber.
Hi, it's BMG Radio, and I'm back, kind of. So, if you don't know what BMG Radio is, let's start there, and then I'll tell you why I'm back, and then we'll move on. Alright, so, BMG Radio, for those who don't know, is, it's supposed to be a weekly radio show where I kind of do half an hour of talking about lists and movies that are coming out and things I've seen and trailers I want and all that kind of stuff. So, I haven't done this for a while. I've kind of had a YouTube hiatus. I've been chilling out on other people's channels, not my own channel. But I've kind of taken away a step back from making anything because I've just been doing stuff. And, you know, you don't need to know what. Nothing bad. So, anyways, I got tagged by my buddy CP from What I Like It Reviews. And to do a stupid vampire tag, and I'm not happy about it, but I did it, and I decided to do it with my youngest daughter, who goes by Noise, and I jokingly said if that got to 50 views, I would do a BMG Radio, which isn't that what you're listening to, and it didn't look like it was going to get there, and then the last week I gave the chance up, it passed 50 views, so here we are. Okay, so that's why I'm back, and that's why you're getting BMG Radio today. So saying all that, the format, how this used to be, was I would put a ton of pictures in and all that kind of stuff and give you a lot of things to look at. I'm not doing that anymore. I decided if I'm going to do these are going to be hopefully weekly if I can do them. We'll see. We'll see how this first one goes. But you're not going to see anything except my beautiful Lego picture that is right here. So you can literally turn this on for audio and then just go about whatever you're doing. As you're cleaning, as you're cooking, as you're enjoying each other's company in any way you want. I don't care. Like, if I get down that way to my voice, I don't know. Like, who am I to judge? So, yeah. You're not going to see anything. So you don't really have to pay attention visually, just auditorily, if that makes sense. So, saying that, I have a format of how I used to do this. I'm going to try and follow it to a degree. And so first up, I'm going to talk about the movie I've seen that's big in the theaters, which I haven't done a review for. Ding, something ding, never mind. All right, so Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. We'll start out with that. If you only want to hear the review of this, then listen to this and then turn it off. That's the way these are going to go. If I've seen a big movie, I'll do the big movie first, and then if you just want to hear what I thought about that, then fine. If not, then you can listen to the whole thing. Okay, Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. I saw this for work. I'll start it by that. My work, I occasionally get to go see movies. Okay. Is Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom a bad movie? No. Is it a good movie? It's alright. It's not a great movie. It's far from a great movie. But it is entertaining in parts. Chris Pratt is Chris Pratt, and I love me some Chris Pratt. So, if you're interested in the Chris Prattness, it's in full effect. Not as full effect as Star-Lord full effect, but it's, he's Chris Pratt. He's being awesome. And Dallas Bryce Howard is fine. It's like the movie itself, like, there's a few things I have a problem with. Number one is, like, if I was talking about this with some other people, if the whole thing is this island where Jurassic World was, like, the last movie took place on, where the original Jurassic Park movie took place on, is blowing up. That there's a volcano that they didn't know about, that was dormant, that was not dormant, now it's going to kill all the dinosaurs. And so, should they rescue the dinosaurs? Well, here's my thing. I don't understand why this is a thing in the first place, because, like, I understand, like, I want people to die or dinosaurs to die, but because they're like, these are going to go extinct. Thing is, there's a whole other island. Jurassic Park 2 and Jurassic Park 3 take place on a different island, and they talked about it, and that's the first, like, there's an whole other island where they grew the original dinosaurs and then transferred them over to Jurassic Park. So, and last time we saw that, it was thriving. There was no issues, lots of dinosaurs running around, eating each other, eating plants, everything was fine. So I don't understand that plot point. They seem to have just forgotten that there's a whole separate island of these dinosaurs that are like, fine, not blowing up. And they never address it like, oh, they moved all the dinosaurs off that island. No, they never say anything like that. At least that I heard. Sorry, I'm dinging. I'll put it on vibrate. Hold on. Okay, so there we go. Vibrated. Take that as you will. So that's weird. But okay, so let's just go to the story itself. Basically, the whole premise is at first that they're rescuing the dinosaurs to save them. But of course, if you've seen the trailers, that's not true. They're rescuing them to sell them off to the highest bidder. And they need Chris Pratt's character because they want Blue, because Blue is special. They explain this in the movie. You see a baby Blue, which is adorable. Chris Pratt with baby Blue is just, yeah, it's very cute. And stuff. So they're dinosaurs look good. I'll say that. Chris Pratt is good. It's got some fun moments. Got some okay action beats. The middle drags and doesn't make a lot of sense. But overall, I was never like, wow, this is completely boring, and I just wanted it to end. It was fine. It was okay. Jurassic World is better, the first one. I have that's my review. I give it 3 beards out of 5. I rank things with beards, but take it as stars from Letterboxd. It's fine. But I started that before Letterboxd, so I'm not going to mention the other thing. Don't worry about it, Brian. Anyways, so yeah, I give it 3 out of 5. It's entertaining enough. It's not super memorable. You're not going to need to run out and see this. If you want to see it on a big screen because dinosaurs yelling and all that stuff, that's good. But it's nothing. It's nothing to write home about. But it's apparently something enough to make a video about. Take that what you will. I don't know. So I would rank it. My Jurassic franchise, like there's the 5 movies. I would rank it actually. See, I have a different ranking than most people. Because I was late to the game watching Jurassic Park, the very first one. I didn't think it was going to be awesome because I was like, stupid dinosaurs. That's dumb. Why would anyone want to see that? So I was very late to the game watching it. And I saw it in a private screening just before it became on video. Because it was video, not DVD, but video. And I was like, this is going to be stupid. And I finally watched it and was like, it's great. Jurassic Park is great. And so I was super hyped for the second one. And the second one came out. And me and my wife, and I don't think we were married back then, so me and my girlfriend or fiance, I don't know at the time, doesn't matter. Same person all together. But we went out with a group of friends, went to dinner, and this was a big event. We went to dinner, nice restaurant, kind of, and went to see Jurassic World, or Jurassic Park, The Lost World. And all of us came away disappointed. Now, I'm mostly disappointed. Like, the dinosaurs look great and all that stuff, but the thing is, it's Spielberg, and I hold Spielberg in super high regard. And it is very lackluster. The script is stupid for a lot of it. A lot of it doesn't make sense. And I don't understand why he would just go, hey, that doesn't make any sense. Can't we rewrite that? So I don't understand why that kind of stuff happened. It's basically Jurassic Park, and then they put King Kong thrown at the end where they're bringing the T-Rex back to the mainland. And that goes exactly as you'd think it would. So, although there's some really good scenes in that I think, believe it or not, is the weakest Jurassic Park movie. Jurassic Park 3, at least tried to do a little bit different. So I give it credit for that. So I would rank, this is my ranking, my official ranking. So number 5 as being worst is Jurassic Park Lost World, the second one. Number 4 would be this one that just came out, Jurassic Park, or Jurassic World Lost Kingdom. Then I would say number 3, Jurassic Park 3. Then I would say Jurassic Park Lost World. Then I would say Jurassic Park is number 1 because it's Jurassic Park and it's Spielberg getting down and dirty and being awesome with his awesomeness. So that's my ranking for those movies. That's my thoughts on those movies. And yeah. All right, moving on. Next, I'm looking at the trailer of the week. I'm just going to tell you one trailer every week that I see that just intrigues me, or I'm like, what the frick was it? So everyone's talked about the Halloween trailer, and that freaking, yeah. But I'm not going to talk on that one just because everybody talked on it. And if you want to see Halloween, you're going to want to see that movie. I want to see that movie. My kids want to see that movie. My wife wants to see that movie. Everyone I know wants to see that movie pretty much that loves movies. So I'm not going to talk about that one. I'm going to talk about Bumblebee. Holy crap. I don't know if you saw, they did a Bumblebee trailer. And I didn't see the fourth Star Wars. I didn't see the fourth Transformers movie, but I saw the fifth one. And just recently on Netflix for work. And boy, is that a mess. And so I just was figuring everything was like, the franchise was done. And then I see this Bumblebee trailer. And I gotta tell you, it looks good. I am shocked. It looks cute. It looks adorable. Bumblebee is finally a VW bug. And it takes place in the 80s. So you got all the 80s feels happening. And I don't know. I am shocked as much as anyone is shocked. So my daughters didn't even want to see the trailer, and then they saw it and they fall in love with Bumblebee because Bumblebee's adorable. I don't know. I'm up for seeing it. I don't know if I'll have to see it in theater per se, but I'm down for seeing the movie eventually. So I didn't think I'd say that I'm actually interested in seeing a Transformers movie. So there you go. My trailer of the week is Bumblebee. Check it out, and we'll go from there. Well, we'll go from here, but that doesn't matter either way. All right, next up, I'm talking about I've been doing top 2010 movies, or the 2000 movies. How about that? So from 2000 to 2010, I've been working my way backwards to the beginning of the 2000s. So last time I did 2005, so I'm going to do 2004. These are my top 10, what I think are best. Not my favorite, but best movies. I'll give you the 11 through 20 very quickly. But to start off, though, I'm going to talk about the Oscars. I don't like the Oscars, but they're always a measure of whatever is supposed to be awesome. So the top 5 movies that year that made Oscar contention for Best Picture were $1 Million Baby, which was the winner, The Aviator, Finding Neverland, Ray, and Sideways. So you can figure out how many of those are actually in my top 10 or 20. So saying that, quickly, I will give you 20 to 11, and then I'll dive into 10. So at 20, I have Anchorman. 19, The Machinist. At 18, House of Flying Daggers. 17, Night Watch. 16, Dawn of the Dead, the remake. Obviously. 15, Spartan. 14, Hellboy. 13, Aviator. 12, Finding Neverland. And 11, Downfall. Now, Downfall was actually nominated for Best Picture Foreign Film. It did not win, but it is a fantastic movie about Hitler in this bunker. So I highly recommend checking it out. All right, so saying that, number 10 is Man on Fire. Man on Fire is a phenomenal movie. Denzel going dark places. Really good performance from what is her name? Dakota Fanning. That's it. Fedota Banning. Whatever. Dakota Fanning. That's her name. She gives a really great performance, and it's just a really solid movie. It's not flashy, but the violence is violent, and he is not a man you want to mess with, and don't take the girl. So yeah, that's my number 10. Number 9, Kill Bill Volume 2. Kill Bill Volume 2 is, it's not as actiony as the first Kill Bill, but it's really solid. It's Tarantino. The dialogue is awesome. The action that is there, especially the fight scene in the trailer, is particularly memorable. It's got all the Pai Mei stuff, which is pretty cool. And it's Tarantino. What do you want from me? Number 8, The Aquatic Life of Steve Zissou. I just watched this again recently. Showed it to my daughters for the first time. It is such a delightful film. I'm sorry. I don't know. Wes Anderson, it is possibly my favorite Wes Anderson film. I don't know if it's his best, but it's my favorite. Bill Murray is just on top of his game. And yeah, it's just delightful. Plus, you get David Bowie songs in Portuguese, which is kind of cool too. All right, number 7, The Bourne Supremacy. I love the Bourne movies, the 3 original ones. This is the third one. It's a great way to wrap up the franchise, which they didn't because they wanted to make more. And saying that, I didn't actually mind Bourne Legacy. I actually thought it was pretty good. I like Jeremy Renner's character, but Jason Bourne, that movie that came out last year or 2 years ago, big disappointment. So, but as this is what I'm going to say is the cap of the series for Jason Bourne, forgetting Jason Bourne movie is existing, calling the trilogy, this is a great way to finish the trilogy. It's awesome. I really liked it. I thought it was really well made, and just Matt Damon kicked ass. So saying that, number 6, $1 Million Baby. Yeah, the Oscar winner movie. It's the first Oscar winning movie on the list. There is one other that's higher than it that I ranked. You'll see that in a second. $1 Million Baby. It's not a fun film to watch. It really isn't. But it is Clint being awesome as a director, as a star. Hilary Swank's great. Morgan Freeman won an Oscar for this. It's not a fun film, but it's a terrific film. It's well made. And, yeah, worth watching. All right, next up, top 5. And all of these movies get my highest rating, 5 out of 5. So just for you to understand that. Number 5, Passion of the Christ. I don't know. Like, I'm a Christian. I've not been hiding that. So theologically and spiritually, this movie touches me in a lot of ways. But I think it's a really well-made movie. And it looks at the crucifixion like no movie has ever looked at it before, and how realistically violent it would be. I think Jim Caviezel is amazing in it. I think Mel Gibson does outstanding with direction. And yeah, it's an incredible movie. And again, not another. I haven't watched it in a couple of years, and I think I'm gonna watch it next year and show it to my daughters who haven't seen it. But it's a rough movie, but it's a really well made and fairly accurate portrayal of what Jesus would have gone through. So, yeah, Passion of the Christ. So, moving on to something much more fun. Number 4, Hayao Miyazaki, Studio Ghibli's Howl's Moving Castle. Yeah, fantastic. I've only seen the American voice cast. I watch mainly those for the Studio Ghibli ones, unless I don't have another choice because Disney does a good job translating them. Voice cast is great. The animation, though, it's Hayao Miyazaki and his Studio Ghibli, and it's just beautiful and haunting, and even the stuff that looks ugly looks beautiful in a weird sort of ways. It's an interesting story, and it's got just the visuals. I don't know what else to say. It's incredible. Speaking of incredible, number 3. Oh, what a segue. I didn't even mean to do that, but I'm going to take it. I'm going to take that, ladies and gentlemen. Number 3, The Incredibles. Winner of 2004 Oscar for Best Animated Feature. Yeah, The Incredibles. Just got a sequel. Haven't seen the sequel yet. I've been told by some people it's better than this. I have a hard time believing that, but I've also been told it's not, from a few more people that I trust more about their film knowledge than the people have told me that it's better. So I don't know. I will eventually see the sequel, but the original is one of, if not the best movie from Pixar. It's in top 3 easy. And yeah, it's great. It's from the concept to it's a Fantastic Four movie, better than any Fantastic Four movie could ever be. And it's just, yeah. The voice acting, the animation, the humor, the script, the direction from Brad Bird, everything is completely on point with this movie. It is great. All right, number 2, a movie I didn't understand the first time I really watched it. I kind of took 2 watchings, and I probably need to watch it again. But The Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. There we go. I can speak. I probably can. Not really. I don't know. Anyway. Yeah, Jim Carrey and Kate Winslet, plus Mark Ruffalo and Kirsten Dunst, I think, and a bunch of other people. Original, concepts don't get much more original than this does, and this movie is fantastic. It's just straight out the gate. It's just so different from every other movie out there that deals with relationships, and It needs to be seen. It's not a fun movie to watch necessarily, but it's definitely one of the ones that should be seen by everybody. And my number one movie of 2004, Shaun of the Dead. Oh my lord. I'm sorry, Edgar Wright, I'm a huge fan. He's one of my favorite directors, and he made a movie, a spoof movie, but not a spoof movie about zombies. I've talked to some guy who said he didn't like it because it made fun of zombies, but like it made fun of zombie movies. But I'm like, I don't think it really makes fun of zombie movies the same way. It pokes fun at certain tropes, but then embraces those tropes hardcore in the second half. And yeah, it's just that this is the beginning of the Coronado trilogy. It's just brilliant in every way. Directing, acting, editing, soundtrack. The cast is insane. Like, oh, it's just great. And it is my number one movie of 2004. So, I would love to know your top 10 of 2004. Either if you've made lists on Letterboxd, feel free to link it to me, or if you just want to write them down in the comments, because no one's going to comment. But, maybe Brian Lomax will. He likes making movies, he likes making lists off of my list, so, which is a tribute that I love. Thank you, Brian. So anyways, yeah, that's my top 10 and top 20, but top 10, really important ones. So, saying that, let's move to my Letterboxd. Okay, so Letterboxd, I'm just going to go through my Letterboxd diary very quickly and give you guys an update on what I've been seeing lately. I'm not going to go from the last time I did this because that was a long time ago. So I'll start from the middle of the month. I saw Hotel Artemis in theaters. A little misleading from the trailer, I'll be honest. But overall, a very enjoyable film and very underwatched. You should probably check it out if you can. Just wait a couple months, it'll be on Netflix or something. But Hotel Artemis, I give 3.5 beards. Very solid film. Jodie Foster is particularly really good. And Batista's coming to his own as an actor. I really think he's great. Next up, I watched The Bad Batch on Netflix. It's a weird film because the film itself is okay, but the cast is way too good for this film. You got Jason Momoa, who kind of fits, but then you got Keanu Reeves and Jim Carrey and Giovanni Ribisi, and it's just like, why are any of these guys in this movie? I don't understand. I don't know. I watched it on Netflix. It's worth a watch, but it's real weird, kind of. It's just, the cast is way too good for the material. But that gets 3 beards out of 5. Next up, I watched a movie called Rattlers, from 1976, about rattlesnakes that a military dumps a bunch of chemicals and makes them super aggressive. By accident, they dump the chemicals, and, well, kind of, but, they don't think they were going to make rattlesnakes aggressive, and they kill a bunch of people, and then we get to watch people act badly about it. It's not a good film. I don't recommend it. I give it 1.5 beards out of 5. Next up, for Father's Day, I get to pick any movie I wanted, and I was kind of in the mood. I was going to like Epic, and then I'm like, nah, Epic's, let's just watch something fun and shooty. And so we picked Shooter. Mark Wahlberg, Anton Fuqua, who I really like as director. And no, it's a fun movie. It moves. It's not slow at all. It keeps a solid pace. Has Danny Glover in there too, and it's a good time. I enjoy it. Next up, I watched Beyond Skyline on Netflix. I watched Shooter on Blu-ray because I own it. Beyond Skyline, which is a sequel that no one asked for, which is still better than Independence Day sequel, Resurgence, or whatever the Independence Day sequel was called. It's better than that. With lower budget, and the effects don't look as good, but it's better than that, even though no one asked for the sequel. So I gave it 2.5 beards out of 5. It's not a complete waste of time, although there's some stuff there with the raid guys, which is just it jumps countries, and I'm just like, what happened? I don't understand. But anyways, it's not a terrible way to spend your time. Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, I watched that in theaters. Like I said, I give it 3 beards out of 5. Not a bad film. Next up, I showed a bunch of 16-year-olds The Matrix. Most of them had never seen it before. Yeah, it blew most of their minds occasionally. One of the guys just was like, I didn't understand it, and he just doesn't want to understand it, so I'm just going to let him not understand it. although it makes me a little sad. It's The Matrix. 5 out of 5. Come on, it's The Matrix. So next up, I watched the new Murder on the Orient Express, the remake. Now, I've seen the original with Sean Connery and Albert Finney, and so I couldn't help but compare them. This on its own is actually a decent movie. It moves a bit faster than the original does in some ways. It's beautiful. I'll give them this. Kenneth Branagh directed it and starred in the kind of leading role. And it's just beautiful to look at. He did some really nice things with some cinematography and the way he staged some things and overhead shots. And the scenery is gorgeous. So it's not as good as the original. The original I give 4 beards to. This one I give 3.5. It's still worth watching at least once. Did enjoy it. So saw that. Well, took that out of the library actually and watched it on Blu-ray. So I think, or DVD. Yeah, DVD. So 2 more. The Warrior and the Sorceress. I've got an Amazon Prime account, kind of, and I say kind of, but you know what I mean. Somebody does, so I have one. And I've been watching a lot of older stuff, and so I saw the poster for this when I was a kid, and I've been watching a lot of movies that I saw posters of when I was a kid. And Warrior and the Sorceress from 1984 is awful. I had no clue it had David Carradine in it as the main guy, but he's there, and he's there, and yeah, he's there. It was awkward because like the main woman literally is naked, like minus like for a G-string, for the whole film. Like for 1 minute, he throws like a cloak over her, but the rest of the time she's incredibly naked, and it's just like, why? Like, I'm sure as a 12-year-old boy I would have loved that, but it just seemed awkward as like watching it now. It was like, why doesn't she put some clothes on? Like she's making a sword, like blacksmithing, naked. It's just, it makes no sense. It's not a good movie, folks. It's awful, and it literally is a fistful of dollars ripped off. Like it's a guy who comes to town where there's 2 gangs and he plays both of them against each other. That's it. It's a fistful of dollars. So I give it 1 out of 5. Don't watch it unless you really want to see a woman make a sword naked. But she didn't even do that really. It's not good. And last night my daughter graduated grade 8. Same daughter who did Vampire Tag. And so we showed them, my daughters who are 16 and 14, we showed them Dazed and Confused. They've never seen it. And we watched that last night in honor of the fact that she just graduated grade 8 yesterday. So, yeah, Dazed and Confused. I've watched that movie I don't know how many times. Like at least, I want to say 10, maybe 15. I don't know. I used to have it on VHS and watch it when I was bored and just throw it in. Good times. Richard Linklater. It's one of my favorite movies of his. I don't know if I'd say it's his best movie, but it's one of my favorites from him. And yeah, I give it 4 out of 5, 4 beards out of 5. It's worth a watch in multiple watches, and it's soundtrack is great, and yeah, it's got a good young cast. You get young Ben Affleck, you get young Matthew McConaughey with his all right. Like that's where that came from. That's the first time that was ever uttered on film, and it's still around. So that's my Letterboxd. That's like literally up to last night, and we watched that on Blu-ray. Just because you care. So that's it. I will take questions from anyone. If you put a question in the comments, or text me, or Twitter me, or any smoke signals, carrier pigeons, any way you can give me a question, I will take questions for Q&A. I usually do Q&A at the end of these. I don't have any this week because it's the first one back. But if there are any out there, let me know. I would gladly answer anything you have, any questions you have for the British movie guy, I guess. And thanks for listening if you made it this far. I will try and do more of these. Let me see what the response is to this one. If I get a decent response, and by decent I mean like 30 views, I'll do more. But yeah, so thanks, and as always, YouTube safely.